Because your baby.
My baby's over there sleeping.
That's another one of your babies. Your baby down there.
Your baby down here.
That one.
I think I just have a little gas.
Say that again. Say it again.
I think I'm having some gas trouble.
I said this footage is worth money.
Why? What footage?
This thing you're looking into?
It's a camera.
Exactly.
She's not breathing and she's not responsive. She's actually Nicole Smith.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to part 2 of the Nicole Smith story. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I recommend you watch that first. I will link it in the description box below. We left off with Nicole being slim and gorgeous again thanks to Trim Spa, but of course she had a lot of other things going on during her life during that time. At a party during the 2004 Kentucky Derby, she met celebrity photographer Larry Burkhead. Larry was taking pictures of Anna and she was giving very flirtatious poses, you know. And then she gave him a Polaroid, like the one she would give to fans to autograph. But on this Polaroid, she wrote her number. So Nicole's relationship with Larry Burkhead was one of the very few things in her life that she kept private. The only people who really knew were their close friends. And even with them, Larry was never introduced as Anna's boyfriend. It was just kind of assumed. Speaking of friends, Anna also made some besties with some doctors around this time period. Dr. Sandeep Kapoor was a doctor in Los Angeles, was supposed to be treating Anna for chronic pain that she claimed to be having because of her implants and other things, but he also invited her to the 2005 West Hollywood Rainbow Pride Parade, and they rode on a float or car together. They then went and had drinks at the Abbey, which is a famous club.
When I was writing the next day, of course, along with a raging hangover, I was feeling very regretful, blurring the lines. I actually wrote the words that became published where I give her methadone and Valium, can she ruin me?
All right, so methadone is a very strong medication that is usually used to get people off of heroin. It's very rarely used for pain in this country, at least. It's used for like maybe end-stage cancer, but Nicole Smith also got a brand new next-door neighbor in the form of Dr. Christine Arosevich. Dr. Arosevich was a psychiatrist who also prescribed Nicole with a ton of medication. Anna and Dr. Arosevich became really close friends. They would go to each other's houses, have barbecues, they would travel together. There are pictures of them without clothes in a hot tub together. So obviously this is really inappropriate for these doctors to have this kind of relationship with her.
Doctors belong in their lab coats, Dr. Ring.
I mean, did you hang out with your doctors? Meanwhile, Larry Burkhead moved in with Anna Nicole, her son Daniel, and Howard K. Stern. Awkward. When Larry Burkhead saw the amount of medications that Anna was on, he tried his best to get her help and get her off of them, but she just wasn't having any of it.
Did you ever ask her if she would go to a rehabilitation center?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever do any homework as to locate rehabilitation centers?
I knew of some, but I didn't really have to do homework.
Were the ones that you knew of, were they residential facilities or out facilities?
I've heard of both in California. It's common.
And did you ask if she would attend any of those or live in any of those facilities?
Yes, sir.
And what was the response?
She said, I'm not a drug addict, and quit calling me one. She said, these are prescriptions. And I said, you're not taking them properly. She always said it was her contention because there was a doctor's name on the bottle, that there was nothing wrong with whatever she could take.
Had a roller coaster relationship and lots of ups and downs, and anytime Larry would threaten to break up with Anna, she would hold her stomach and say, you're gonna look really stupid, or something along those lines, insinuating that she was pregnant. Anna did want to become pregnant. She wanted a baby girl, actually. You know, Daniel was getting older, he was going to move out any day, and Anna had always wanted a little girl. Since the 90s, Anna had bought baby girl outfits.
He couldn't part with those colorful clothes her mother collected even before she was pregnant.
They weren't all baby clothes. I mean,
no,
she
not
had
really. She was
girl.
planning way ahead.
She was thinking way ahead that she wanted a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the legal battle for Anna's late husband's millions of dollars, that legal battle continued, and in 2006, Anna went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Anna, how do you feel? How do you feel trying to get through? Excuse us, people.
Also in 2006, without telling Larry or anyone else for that matter, Anna and Howard K. Stern packed up and moved to this $1 million mansion in the Bahamas. On June 1st, 2006, Anna announced to the entire world she was pregnant via a video she posted on her website.
Hi, it's me, and Nicole, as you can see. I've been hearing a lot of gossip in the papers. Is Anna pregnant? She's pregnant. She's pregnant by some guy. Well, let me stop all the rumors. Yes, I am pregnant. I'm happy. I'm very, very happy about it. Everything's going really, really good, and I'll be checking in and out periodically on the web, and I'll let you see me as I'm growing. So that's it at this time.
Called Anna and asked if he was the father of the baby, and she said, "Of course you are, dummy. I ain't know." Larry really did seem like a good guy, and I wonder if things would have turned out differently for Anna if she stayed with him. I guess we'll never know. But Anna obviously moved to the Bahamas to keep Larry away from the baby because the laws there are very different.
The last fight was over sunglasses.
Which was stupid.
Which was very stupid, but it was, I don't think that's she didn't take off out of here to the Bahamas because of sunglasses. It was, you know, there were things going on in her head that she didn't really share with me.
It's speculated by a lot of people that Howard K. Stern was putting bad thoughts in Anna's head about Larry, you know, trying to convince her that he was a bad guy. A home video of Anna pregnant in the Bahamas surfaced, and it's pretty disturbing.
For water park?
Yep.
I want to go.
You can't.
Why not?
Because your baby.
My baby's over there sleeping.
That's
Your
another
other-
one of your babies. Your baby down there.
Your baby down here.
That one.
I think I just have a little gas.
Say that again. Say it again.
I think I'm having some gas trouble.
Why aren't you pooting then, or does it hurt?
It hurts, and I need some gas poot stuff so I can poot it out.
She does.
Do you have some?
The clown needs some medicine. I know I don't have some.
I need some. Because look how big my belly is getting. Because it's gas.
It's your baby.
Nuh-uh. It's gas.
It's your baby. The clown doesn't need gas medicine. She needs baby medicine.
No, it's gas. For
Baby.
Sure.
Baby.
Nuh-uh, because I can, you know how when you're having gas and you feel it and it's like, ow.
That's your baby kicking you.
Anna. 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 Anna, look at me. Riley thinks you've absolutely lost your mind.
Huh?
Riley thinks you've lost your mind.
I didn't lose my mind.
She thinks you have.
I didn't.
Is this a mushroom trip?
Huh?
Is this a mushroom trip?
Huh?
Is this a mushroom trip?
What do you mean?
I'm kidding.
What does that mean?
I'm kidding. I said, this footage is worth money.
Why? What footage?
This thing you're looking into?
It's a camera.
Exactly.
It definitely didn't seem like Howard had Anna's best interest in mind. On September 7th of 2006, Anna delivered a little Virgo baby via C-section. And the whole thing was filmed, C-section and all, and sold to Entertainment Tonight along with an interview for $1 million. And so this is how Larry Burkhead got to see his daughter being born on national television. The baby girl was named Hannah Rose, and Howard K. Stern was listed as the father on the child's birth certificate. Anna had been begging her son Daniel to come visit her in the Bahamas, but Daniel was very scared of flying, and he also reportedly told a family friend that if he went there, he would never come back alive, or something along those lines. Don't quote me on it, I wasn't there. Daniel eventually did go to the Bahamas, and he got to take some pictures with his new sister and his mother. So on September 10th, just 3 days after giving birth to her baby girl, Anna awoke in her hospital room to find Daniel sitting upright in a chair. She tried to wake him, but she couldn't wake him up. It seemed like he wasn't breathing. She got help, but the doctors discovered he had already passed away. Daniel was only 20 years old. While I was doing research for this video, I actually found photos of Daniel's body as well as a photo of Anna holding Daniel's body in agony. I wish I never saw them. But anyways, Howard K. Stern was the one who shot those pictures.
I was the one who took that picture, and it was a time, obviously Daniel had just died. Anna was inconsolable. She didn't believe that Daniel had died, and she wanted me to take a picture of her with Daniel as proof that Daniel had died.
Sure, Jan.
Those pictures really disturbed me, just seeing another human being in suffering like that. And I didn't even know those people. So I don't know how someone who claims to be her friend or whatever can take pictures like that. I just can't imagine someone with a conscience doing that. So if you watched part 1 of the Anna Nicole series, you would know that Daniel was pretty much Anna's whole life. So his passing left her distraught. She had to be sedated. She was so hysterical, and when she awoke, she forgot what happened and had to be reminded that Daniel had passed away.
There are no words to really express how she sounded. Wailing, disbelief, and her constant, why didn't God take me? Why did God take Daniel? And it was just incessant.
And then you see the light go out of her. It was like the oxygen had just dissipated, and you couldn't give her any, no matter how much we tried. After Daniel's death, nothing mattered.
Daniel's passing was ruled as suspicious, and it was investigated, and it was discovered that Daniel's passing was due to a mix of antidepressants he was already on, combined with methadone. And as far as anyone knew, Daniel wasn't someone who did stuff like that. But apparently there's security footage that showed Daniel stealing the medicine from his mother, Anna. So that's how he got it. He stole it from his mom, and that's what took his life. Anna's baby girl, Hannah Rose, was renamed Dannielynn Hope to pay tribute to Daniel. Daniel was eventually buried in the Bahamas, and at his funeral, Anna was so upset that she tried to jump in the casket with Daniel right then and there. So Anna spent the next 5 months secluded in her Bahamas mansion with Howard K. Stern. Larry Burkhead and his lawyer became a lot more public after Dannielynn was born because he was really worried that his daughter was not in the safest environment with Anna and Howard there in the Bahamas. Nevertheless, Stern kept proclaiming that he was the father of the baby.
Why has Anna Nicole been so secretive about who the father of her new daughter is?
Well, I'm going to tell you that right now. Anna and I have been in a relationship, and we love each other, and it's been going on for a very long time. And because of my relationship as her lawyer, we felt that it was best to keep everything hidden. And we've actually done a pretty good job of that.
Sure have. So you are the father?
Yes, sir.
By the way, have there been any DNA tests taken? Has that
Proud father.
been what?
I said proud father.
Were DNA tests taken?
Well, based on the timing of when the baby was born, there really is no doubt in either of our minds.
Did Daniel know that you were the father?
He did. He did.
I never saw Anna Nicole Smith make advances to him sexually. He made them to her. I saw him, forcing himself on her. I don't think any man or woman would really be attracted to him as a person or how he looks.
On September 24th of 2006, Anna Nicole Smith and Howard K. Stern exchanged vows and rings during an informal commitment ceremony aboard a catamaran off the coast of the Bahamas. The photos look really weird, probably staged by Howard K. Stern. Anna does not look like she's present. The ceremony wasn't legally binding or anything. In October of 2006, Anna Nicole's bodyguard found Anna floating face down in the pool in what was believed to be an attempt by Anna to take her own life. The bodyguard gave her CPR and was able to resuscitate her. On January 6th of 2007, Anna and her entourage took off to Florida, where they were going to buy a boat. Not before Anna said some very strange things to one of Dannielyn's nannies.
And she was just sitting down in the front of me on the rug playing with Dannielynn, kissing her from head to foot, from foot to head. And all of a sudden she stopped and she looked up at me. She said, "Mommy," she said, "if that plane crashed or anything happened to me," she said, "I want you to take Dannielynn with everything she has." And I said, I reached my hand out. I say, "In the name of Jesus, Anna, nothing is going to happen to the plane. You're going to come back safe." And about half an hour after they left, she had Howard call me. He inquired if the gate was closed, the dogs were in. I said yes. And then he went on to say, and Anna say, if anything happened to her, she wants you to take Dannielynn.
Anna Nicole Smith arrived at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida. That is where she shot one of her trim spot commercials.
Wanna play? Win a chance to party at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Like my body?
And they gave her a really nice suite. Anna was accompanied by Howard K. Stern, her psychiatrist, Christina Rosevich, her bodyguard, Big Mo, and the bodyguard's wife, Tasma, who was a trained nurse. The first night there, Anna went to a boxing event where the last photos of her alive were taken.
Anna, how did you like the fight tonight?
I loved it. He kicked butt.
Anna really wasn't feeling very well though. She seemed to have the flu, she wasn't eating, and worse than that, she had a temperature of 105 degrees. So everyone around her was trying to get her to go to the hospital, but Anna was scared of the paparazzi and media finding out, and so she apparently just refused to go and said that everything could be taken care of there. So they eventually got Anna's temperature down, but Anna was still very sick with the flu, and besides that, unbeknownst to anyone, Anna also had an infection. She had been injecting her butt with vitamin B12 for years. Apparently she thought that was the key to making her stay looking young and keeping her weight down. Anna was taking like 8 or 9 different prescription medications, Klonopin, opiates, sleeping pills, you name it, she was taking it. All the medicines were affecting Anna even more strongly than they would usually. The strongest medication Anna was prescribed by Dr. Rosevich, and it was chloral hydrate. That medicine isn't really provided to people anymore. Chloral hydrate was actually the medication that took the life of Anna's idol, Marilyn Monroe. And as early as the 90s, Anna was telling friends that she wanted to go just the way that Marilyn Monroe did, you know, before she turned 40, underneath the covers on sleeping medication. In the morning of February 9th, Anna Nicole woke up to go to the bathroom early in the morning. She took some more chloral hydrate and went back to bed. Anna's entourage had to all leave to go meet someone about purchasing the boat. So Anna's bodyguard told his wife to stay behind and look over Anna. Of course, no one suspected that anything was wrong, so she wasn't like checking her pulse or anything. She was just in the same room as Anna while she slept, talking on her phone and things like that. She would actually say that the covers were pulled so high that she couldn't even really see Anna. Another one of Anna's friends who was staying in the hotel heard Tasma, the bodyguard's wife, talking on the phone. And so she actually thought that she was talking to Anna, so the friend went over to the bed to say hi to Anna and everything, and that's when they noticed something was wrong. Anna's mouth was hanging open and she wasn't breathing.
This may say a lot about our current culture of celebrity and media these days, when all the major cable news networks switched over to non-stop live coverage this afternoon when word arrived that Anna Nicole Smith had died. She was 39 years old. She was a lot of things: a former Playboy bunny, a former Supreme Court litigant, and a bona fide celebrity of this media age. NBC's Mark Potter is in Hollywood, Florida tonight outside the hospital where she was rushed earlier today. Mark, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. Anna Nicole Smith was found unconscious in her hotel room early this afternoon, but efforts to revive her there failed. The first distress call came from room 128 at the Hard Rock Hotel in Hollywood, Florida, where Anna Nicole Smith checked in with her husband on Monday. She was a frequent guest at the hotel and was here now to buy a boat. Her personal nurse alerted the hotel operator that there was a problem and they needed help. And then a 911 call was made.
We started an IV. We pushed all the medications. We took 12 lead EKGs. We attempted pacing her, which would be an external pacemaker for the heart. And we had electrical capture, but no mechanical capture, which means we couldn't get her heart beating.
With paramedics on the way, people in her room desperately tried to help.
At 1:45, all I know is that a bodyguard administered CPR to her.
But the bodyguard and paramedics were unable to get her to respond, and they rushed Smith to the trauma center at Memorial Regional Hospital.
And it was covered up. You couldn't see her because she was covered up. They wheeled her in.
But in the emergency room, doctors there were also unsuccessful.
At 2:49 this afternoon, we were advised by hospital personnel that Anna Nicole Smith had died.
Therefore, the cause of death is combined drug intoxication, with chloral hydrate being the major component and the other drugs which I mentioned being contributory.
So after Anna Nicole Smith passed away, the battle for her remains began. Her mother, Virgie, wanted her buried.
Did she ever talk about wanting to be buried in the same area with Marilyn Monroe?
Wherever the stars were buried, that's where she wanted to be. That's when I said, please, Vicki, baby, Daddy is gone, and then you're going to be next. Please pay attention to what's around you and who's around you. Please be careful. I said that on national TV because I knew she was going to be next. My grandson did not overdose. Howard was there when he died, and Howard was there when my daughter died.
I'm a
And
little
he
distracted
has
as
my
being
granddaughter
non-responsive.
now. It's not even his child, and I'm afraid for her life as well.
Howard K. Stern wanted her buried in the Bahamas with Daniel.
Please state your name for the record.
Howard Stern. She was my best friend, my lover, the mother of my daughter. She's everything to me. Anna and Daniel were inseparable. Daniel was, without question, the most important person in Anna's life.
She maintained a baby book in the hospital where she wrote my name in as the daddy and I put my thumbprint, and she put her thumbprint as the mom, and I felt sorry for Mr. Stern because he had no role. I knew his interest in her, and I knew his level of interest, and I didn't want to offend him.
And what was it?
I think he was romantically interested in her. I said, you know, Howard's over here, I feel kind of bad for him, and she said, come here, Howard, and she said, you put your thumbprint here, and she wrote Uncle Howard in the baby book, is that I'm a California resident, and if and when I get the daughter that I know and believe is mine, she won't live in the Bahamas, so is that a place that she's going to have to travel to go see her brother and her mother's grave?
At the end, the judge got very emotional and ruled that
I want her buried. I want her buried with her son. I want her, there's no shouting. This is not a happy moment. I want her buried with her son in the Bahamas. I want them to be together.
The circus continued though, and Anna's entire funeral was broadcast on Entertainment Tonight, including the burial.
Always wanted to be, a queen, royalty. I wanted to send her out like royalty.
Now designers Patrick Simpson and Paula Tu are sharing some secrets from the funeral. They made these special pink and black ribbons for guests to commemorate Anna Nicole. You can see Howard K. Stern pinned one on his dark suit.
If you notice, Virgie didn't put one on. And she was offered.
Patrick and Paul also say the flowers Virgie carried showed how estranged she was from her daughter.
She brought pink carnations and Anna hated carnations.
It was now time to lower the rose-covered casket into the ground. While cemetery workers began to fill the grave, most mourners left the tent. As the service drew to a close, Howard began the ceremonial custom of shoveling earth back into the gravesite, followed by Anna's attorney, Ron Rail. And then Mo joined in the tradition. When it appeared nobody else wanted to participate, Mo continued the task. But someone else did want to join in, and it was Virgie. And once she began, she was determined. She did not want the funeral here, but was obviously not ready to leave. We don't know what was behind her effort. Perhaps she wanted to remind people this was her daughter being buried. But Virgie continued for nearly 2 minutes in the stifling heat.
And the paternity test to find out who Dannielyn's father still had to be done. And they eventually proved what most people already knew.
Hello. I hate to be the one that told you this, but I told you so. And, it's been a long road, and I'm just happy to, have this behind me and just to be able to start a life with my daughter.
Dannielynn actually has a pretty normal life, as far as I know right now. She lives somewhere in Kentucky, and she's just a normal kid.
What's your favorite?
French fries.
French fries.
And dreams of travel.
I want to go to Washington, D.C. so bad. I want to see all the monuments.
She has done some things to
paying homage
to her mother, like modeling for Guest Kids and attend the Kentucky Derby, since that's where Anna and Larry first met. Dannielynn has said that she wants to start her own YouTube channel, so maybe we will be seeing her around here sometime soon.
I will see you very soon. Thanks so much for watching.
Closer! You're on my television show. Wendy Williams is on fire. Are you okay?
My voice is gone.
What's wrong with your voice?
I don't know. I woke up and it was gone.
Might I say that you look wonderful in the Kanye West video?
My name is Ella Mae from Mobile, Alabama.
Thank you.
Do you hang out in the hip-hop circles?
In what?
The hip-hop circles, with black people.
Sure. Yeah.
Can you